Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Lupine SL Grano bike headlight. Lupine is best known for their bright flashlights and wired mountain bikes, which feature high-tech lenses and fully serviceable designs. The Lupine SL Grano is a compact all-in-one design that is instead optimized for drop bar road bikes or gravel bikes. Based on the SL Nano, which was an e-bike light, but it adds an integrated battery to give it a nice compact form factor that can easily be mounted on your bike. You can see packaging-wise, really simple. Just have a little outline of the light, SL Grano printed on there, and we have the international version, which unlocks a lot of the flash modes. I'll go ahead and open this up. We'll go over the specs. So retail price on this is $250, so quite expensive. As with a lot of Lupine lights, you're paying for the additional features. It has a replaceable battery, which is really the big feature here. And it's very cheap at only €36 or $42. So it's something you can actually keep using for quite a long time. It's 900 lumens, so quite bright, or 130 lux. And it uses an Oscillon compact PL LED. So they use automotive LEDs here to really optimize the performance. You get a sharp beam cutoff, so really nice beam designs on the lights to ensure you don't have any glare for oncoming traffic. It also has an integrated GoPro top mount that's actually all metal, so you can easily mount this underneath your computer. USB Type-C, and it even supports on-the-go charging. It takes about 3.5 hours to fully charge from empty. You even have an integrated light sensor, so it can automatically switch between day and night modes based on the pre-programmed selections. As far as what comes with it, really simple. We have the light itself, really high premium finish with the anodized design, USB to C charging cable. You have an additional bolt here and the Allen wrench to install it on your bike. You get a little thank you letter thing here, or information pamphlet. You get a Lupine sticker. You also get the nice little quick start guide. It's actually a nice thick material with the color indicators in multiple languages, and you can see the menu. It's quite confusing here, so it's really good to review this instruction manual to understand the light. Now let's take a look at the weight of the light. So the light by itself comes in at 171 grams. The Lupine SL Grano combines the compact round lens from the Lupine SL Nano and extends the body to house an internal LiPo battery. So this is actually an all-in-one design. You don't need an external battery pack or an e-bike like you do with the SL Nano. It's still relatively compact, so it's only 85 by 46 by 53 millimeters, which is 3.3 by 1.8 by 2.1 inches, which is pretty good for the 900 lumen output. What really sets apart this light from other lights on the market is the fact that it's fully serviceable, so full aluminum body, really high quality lens, and a replaceable battery. So there's these torque screws here that you'd remove to lift off this cover. And then you can buy the battery pack from Lupine for only €36, which is $42 at today's exchange rate, and then install it yourself. It's not something you have to send in, and it's a feature you just don't see anymore. So it's really a light that's designed to last forever, and it's really a big investment up front, but then very cheap to maintain with all the spare parts. And Lupine's a company that's been around for a number of years, so it's something you can trust will be around when you need the replacement battery. Again, the body's full aluminum. Even the GoPro mount is integrated into the body itself, so it's not a plastic piece. It is actually all metal and very thick, so again, really speaks to the quality of the light. You have these LED indicators, which do various things depending on which mode you're in. So it'll show the battery status or the current mode. You have an ambient light sensor on the side, which is this little cover. And then you have the power button on the bottom side with this nice raised profile to it, so easy to feel. And then a USB Type-C port here. And they even sell a special adapter, so you can use this as a power bank to charge another device or charge the light itself by plugging in this to a battery pack to extend the runtime. And they have a special one that makes this whole thing waterproof, as a normal plug wouldn't be waterproof. So definitely cool design, and again, you can have on-the-go charging. Simple branding with Lupine on the sides here in white, and then engraved on the bottom side. This light is really designed to be undermounted though. So it is a directional beam, has to be this direction, you can't flip it over. And you can see with the design, it's fairly compact, so it can hide underneath your computer and give you that bright daytime or nighttime visibility with the angle adjustment of GoPro, and they've positioned it further up front so you get more angle adjustment, and they've tilted the back so you get a little bit more angle adjustment as well so it won't hit your handlebar. It's a pretty nice design, and again with the all metal construction, really feels high quality. The star of the show though is the lens. So this has a full sharp beam cutoff. They actually have a international version, so this is STVZO certified if you get the international one. And then they have a standard international version that we have here, which is not STVZO certified. So with this one, you do get the flash modes, which are not allowed in STVZO certification. So with this one, we do get flash, but you can see same sharp beam cutoff. And that's really thanks to this lens. So you don't have any glare when you have it angled correctly. And you can see all the light is really focused downward. And you get this really cool lens shape or beam shape that illuminates the road in front of you without wasting anything on the light above you or the trees above you. So it's a really high quality lens design that's shared with the other lights they have. It's a really cool design too, so you can see it really looks like an egg shape on the inside, and that's the biconical lens. And then they have this outer ring which serves as a daytime visibility light with these vertical lines that act as horizontal diffusers. So combined, it's really bright, so you're always visible on the road. And it's slightly inset, so the only side visibility are the LED indicators. But again, that's what really sets us apart from other lights on the market. Now, the user interface on this is very complicated like other Lupine lights. They have a single button interface, but they do a lot with it. So if you do just a hold and let go, if you hold it for about a second or two, you can see when you release it, it shows the color. This is the battery status. So it either has 5 states, 100 to 66 is green, yellow is 65 to 31, red is 30 to 16, and then you have red and light red, so you get 2 different colors if you're under 15. And then if you're really in a critical state, you have the emergency battery mode. That is red and blue, and that really locks you into a single mode just to get you home. So you're never going to remember what those dual colors are, but at least the green, yellow, red are pretty intuitive. It also shows you the battery status when you turn it off so you don't forget. So if I do a double tap to turn it on, when I'm riding, it goes back to the current mode. And then if I hold it to turn it off, you can see, I'll briefly show you the current battery status. The confusion comes with the color, so when it's on, it'll actually show you which mode you're on. So this is supposedly white, but it kind of looks more pink. And depending on which mode you're in, it'll actually show a color code that matches the current mode. So it's currently, I believe, locked in the daytime mode. So there's actually a light sensor. So if I cover this up and wait, this will actually switch to a night mode. So they have a day and night mode, and with that, it'll lock you into certain default day and night. And depending on which mode you're in, whether it's day or night, sometimes you have additional options like the flash options, or the nighttime mode, you typically have a low beam and a high beam. It takes about 16 seconds by default to do the switch. And when it does a switch, then you can actually access the different modes, and the colors will help indicate that. So with this one, you can see I'm locked in essentially to this 1B mode. There's also flash modes if you double tap. So double tap is to turn it on by default and then switch between the modes, but it's all very confusing. And there's actually a big chart in the user manual that helps you show which modes there are. There are about 9 available modes. So you have 3 flash options, and then an additional set of standard options, and then eco mode, which is not on by default. So you can also do configuration on this with a single button. So again, very confusing, but if I turn off the light, you can access configuration modes. You have 9 or 8 different flashings that indicate different things. So to do configuration, you hold this for 6 seconds. So you hold the power button, and then you wait for the light to flash. So that's 1, 2, and you'll see 3, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is the factory reset. So if I let go, you can see it flashed the pink color, and that means I did a full factory reset. With this mode, you can, with the configuration options, you can actually enable or disable eco mode, which is defaulted off, and that just reduces the output mode. You can disable the ambient light sensor, which is on by default. You can do either a slow or fast auto light switch, so that's 16 seconds is the default, but you can also make it longer by doing the late option. And you can even change the intensity of the side indicators from low, medium to high, and it's defaulted to medium. You can even disable or enable the double click or single click option. So by default, it's double click, turn it on. You can make that a single click if you do about 5 weights, 5 flashes, and then release. So again, all really complicated. This will all be a lot easier with an app, but it's impressive they have all these features. And at the end of the day, with the light sensor on, you pretty much just let it do its own thing, and it'll automatically determine which mode is appropriate. Now let's take a look at the output modes of the light. Here you can see the full 900 lumen high constant mode, beautiful sharp beam cutoff, and you can see a trapezoidal shape. There's also a low and medium, as well as an eco mode that have slightly lower variations of the medium and high. There's also 3 flash modes, a standard on-off flash, a nighttime flash, which goes low-high, and then daytime flash, which is great for daytime riding with a more irregular pattern. Lupine doesn't publish the runtimes for the flash modes, but you can see with the constant modes, the runtimes are pretty high with the larger battery. Here you can see some riding footage, and the GoPro here obviously makes it a little bit darker than it really is, but you can see that nice, beautiful beam shape. They focus the light in the front, and you have minimal artifacts with just that little ring around the edge from the shape of the lens. So whether you're in gravel and road, this thing's really bright. So in full mode, you can see it really lights up the trail, and at the front of the light is again almost 2 lanes wide, so you can really light up the entire road. We found the high mode probably be the best one for really nighttime trail riding, so your run times are going to be a little bit more limited, especially if you run full power. But then they have a bunch of lower options, so they have the medium and low. Medium works well, it's dimmer, but still something that's very usable, especially if there's lights and you're not on a full dark trail or going really fast. While low mode is pretty dim, so you want to reserve that for more like city riding or urban riding. And again, the beam shape here is really the star of the show. You don't have a large amount of glare. It's literally no glare with crisp beam shape that you don't see with the other lights. So they've done a lot with the lens shape. The actual interface on it's very simple. Once you just leave the auto mode on, you just cycle through the modes. But if you want to access all the modes, again, you have to look at the user manual to understand how to do that. Now we don't have any other Lupine lights on hand, but you can see we've done quite a few other light reviews. Probably the most closest thing we have are some of the Magicshine lights. The Evo 1700, you can see, has a similar kind of cool beam. Obviously, the lens design requires a little bit more space, so you can see it's larger. And you can see with the Magicshine, you get that nice trapezoidal shape with the sharp beam cutoff. While with the Lupine, it's a little bit different, but more focused and a little bit higher tech compared to the Magicshine. Obviously, the big difference between the lights, though, is this is all aluminum, replaceable battery, while the Magicshine is a lot more affordable with a mix of plastic and metal, but non-replaceable battery. Magicshine also has different form factors like the HORI series, which is designed to be undermounted as well. So you can see quite a bit more compact. And you get dual lens with this setup, so depending on which model you have. So this is the higher output 1300. You do get the sharp beam cutoff on one side and then a more standard beam, or you get the HORI 900 with the sharp beam cutoff, but not quite as high tech as the Lupine. You don't get the ambient light sensor to automatically adjust. Trek also has a sharp beam cutoff design, but you can see a lot more artifacts on this one as it has a simple top mounted LED. So not nearly as advanced as the Lupine, which has more of an automotive design. But you can see the difference. This one's metal as well, but non-replaceable battery, and it can control Trek lights, but it's half the cost of the Lupine. So the Lupine, you're paying for like serviceability. The LightSKIN NACA is probably a pretty cool comparison. So again, designed to be undermounted, metal body, non-replaceable body, or non-replaceable battery. But this one is STVZO, really nice sharp beam cutoff, but lower output compared to 900 lumens of the Lupine, and a little bit sleeker aerodynamic design. They also have the U8, which gives you a little bit more standard lens design with a bigger body and dual button design. But again, non-replaceable battery with these setups. So Lupine really is a unique offering. It's the kind of Rolls-Royce of your lights, so a lot more expensive, but a lot of cool features. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Lupine SL Grano. What we like about it is the light has a replaceable battery and fully serviceable design. So Lupine actually offers affordable battery replacements and replacement parts. So it's a light you can actually just buy once and not have to throw away when the battery goes bad. And Lupine's been around for a long time, so you know the Replacement parts are going to be available for quite a while, so a really great light that has a higher initial investment, but will pay off in the end. It also has an advanced lens design with a wide beam, so nice sharp beam cutoff, and a wide trapezoidal light beam that really focuses light on the ground, and it's great for road or gravel cycling. It also has a compact form factor with a built-in battery, and the metal GoPro mount, which makes it perfect for putting underneath your out front mount for very clean installation. The main negatives of the light is obviously the premium price. It costs almost double or triple a lot of other lights, but again, you can replace the battery, which is something you can't do with the other lights. It's also really complicated with the configuration options and the color indicators. It just feels like Lupine is trying to do a little bit too much with a single button interface. It works well when you're normally using it, but you definitely have to go over the user manual to understand how the different modes work. Taking everything into account would give the light a 9.4 out of 10. It's a really compact and bright headlight with an all-in-one design that's great for road cycling or gravel cycling. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at The Sweet Cyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.